everyone, and hopefully everyone is ready to rock and roll this evening and get going this evening with some trade setups. And I want to keep it as real as I possibly can, right? I want to keep it as real as I possibly can, and by doing so, I want to make sure that everyone understands that what I'm really looking for right here is I'm looking for a opportunity to be able to trade the markets based on a very simple trading concept. And the simple trading concept really goes around looking for an opportunity to be able to trade the market without complicating the setup. And as human beings, we tend to do that. We tend to complicate things a lot more than they have to be. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify it, really go ahead and look at the markets based on divergence, and then go ahead and quantify whether this trade is a good trade to go ahead and trade, or just simply go ahead and stay inside. Now remember, we're not forcing trades on. We don't want to force trades on. But when they're sitting up really nicely to be able to monitor and see whether they line up with the conditions that we need, then we want to go ahead and trade it. So we only want to trade the conditions that are lined up, not the conditions that we're hoping that they're going to line up, and go ahead and force on a trade. So with that being said, I'm going to get real comfortable here. It is late mid-evening for me right now. It's around about 9 o'clock in the evening for me, Eastern Standard Time. And so I'm going to get real comfortable here. Probably going to go ahead and get a drink, relax, just enjoy myself, take a look at the markets. And we've got a bunch of traders that are really rocking and rolling here this evening. And man, do you guys not sleep? All right? Do you guys not sleep? Looks like you guys are hungry for opportunities. So we're going to go ahead and check out and see exactly what it is that we have right here. And yeah, I got a bunch of traders right here that are just going ahead and posting here. Good day, trader, FX Big Dog. And we got Jason, yes, beep, beep, beep. Let's do it. We got Doug in the house. We got Eric in the house. Denise is always there. Dean is here. Craig Campbell's is here. Fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. So, with that being said, let's jump into the chart right there. And there was definitely currency pairs that I went ahead and spoke about that are setting up. We did speak about some trading opportunities that were setting up that we said we're going to go ahead and chat about. And so let's go ahead and talk about those. And I believe I need to actually get my my list that I had right here. And on the list I had the Aussie-CAD, Aussie-Swiss franc, Aussie-JPY, Aussie-US dollar, Euro-Aussie dollar, Pound-Aussie dollar. We had Euro-CAD, Euro-JPY, New Zealand Swiss franc, and New Zealand US dollar. Now we also said there was two other currency pairs that were somewhat iffy for me, which means that that looks okay, but we can go ahead and look at it. And that was the Aussie New Zealand dollar and the Pound Canadian. All right, so those are the pairs that I want to go ahead and address this evening. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one right here and take a look and see what's going on. Okay, now Carlos says, Senor, ready. I'm ready to go ahead and rock and roll. All right, fantastic. Let's do it, he says. All right, fantastic. Good. All right. Let's see. Let's start off. Let's start off at the top, the Aussie-CAD. And let's go take a look and see what's going on here with the Aussie-CAD. Now, the Aussie-CAD is certainly looking for some sort of correction move. And we definitely have seen a nice level of divergence. All right, you can see right here. We've got price gone ahead and spiked up right here. And this was a very soft divergence. Not a very high being formed above the previous high. But we are seeing that the oscillator is definitely moved to the downside. I am thinking a little more into this right here. I'm thinking that the Aussie-CAD may want to go ahead and spike up, then go ahead and move down. So we may take out that high, spike up a little higher, as we go ahead and see a little bit of a bump in the oscillator, and then work its way back down, but still giving us that divergence that we're looking for right here. So I'm going to keep the Aussie-CAD as I'm going to note what I see right here, right? And I'm going to possibly think about selling this. I'm not going to go ahead and make a decision quite yet. Okay? So let me go ahead and clean up what I just put in here. So this is a possibility right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. Now, oh, by the way, another thing that I look at right here, I always look at pivot points, right? You know, we look at the yearly pivot point, the monthly pivot points. And so looking at the monthly pivot points right here, I don't see a pivot point that price may go ahead and try and test. Now, this is the reason why I'm thinking that this may be an opportunity as we head into next week. Because think about it from a pivot point of view. We're looking at monthly pivot points, right? And if we're looking at monthly pivot points, then what we may need to look at, all right, what we may need to look at is we may need to look at next week, because what's going to happen is this is going to happen right here. We're going to have another pivot point probably form around about here. And so what's going to happen is price is going to move away from it and then come back down towards it. And so next month may be a better opportunity for us to be able to trade the Aussie Canadian dollar. Now, the one thing that is exciting me a little bit on this is the fact that if we take a look at US oil, take a look at US oil right here, US oil is ticking up, right? And it's moving to this pivot point right here. That pivot point is at 29.45. So we're working our way towards that monthly pivot point, all right? So this is something that we may need to go ahead and look and consider, but also I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the oscillator. I'm going to be very, very aware that if we start seeing a divergence on US oil, right? If US oil starts creating new highs and we start seeing the oscillator moving lower, guess what we're going to go ahead and do? All right, we can go ahead and get the heck out of Dodge. Jason, thank you very much. By the way, yeah, guys, if the screen isn't focused, make sure that you go ahead and check your settings and make sure that the video is on HD. All right, Dean did that, and it's helping Dean, and appreciate Jason stepping in there. Thank you, Jason. All right, so we want to go ahead and keep an eye on US oil, but US oil is ticking higher. Now, if I go ahead and flip it over, I don't actually need to flip it over to the larger time frame. We all know that US oil struggled around $20 a barrel, right? It struggled at that level there. So we're at a very key level of resistance that was previous strong support. So if we break through that, what's going to happen with US oil? We're going to see that climb higher all the way to $30 a barrel, right? 29.45, give or take a few, right? So around about $30 a barrel, we're going to see a climb up there. So we should see another $10 tick to the upside. Now, if US oil gets stronger, what's going to happen? If US oil gets stronger, we're going to anticipate then the Canadian dollar to go ahead and gain some strength. And if the Canadian dollar gains strength, guess what's going to happen to the Aussie-CAD? Aussie-CAD is going to head south, all right? And same for the Pound-CAD, same for the Euro-CAD. So all of those pairs will be heading south based on the strength that's coming out in the Canadian dollar due to US oil rally, all right? Now, it's going to have to be a really sharp rally for us to see a big move in those crosses against the Canadian dollar. But if it breaks through that $20 resistance right now, then we should be able to get to $30, which should be a sharp rally to the upside. All right, so that should be, and then if we go through 30, we're going to get to 35, and then 42 is the next level. So those are the levels that we can see to the upside. But we are at resistance. Now, remember, if resistance holds, what's going to happen? If resistance holds on US oil, then it's not going to really add any value to the Canadian dollar, which means that the Canadian dollar is going to do nothing. But are we going to see enough weakness in the Aussie-CAD to bring Aussie-CAD bearish on that level? I don't think. I think we may see another push before the dip back down south. But this all comes back down to the US oil. What is US oil going to do at those levels? Are we going to break through? And if we are, then we could see Aussie-CAD heading south. Okay? All right. Now, this I was going to keep it simple, right? Damn, Gary. Come on. Keep it simple, brother. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on right here. If we go to Canadian, Aussie-CAD, I'm going to leave Aussie-CAD right now on the sideline right now, right? Because remember, traders, I guess another thing I need to go ahead and just share with everyone, we don't have to trade 24 currency pairs, all right? We don't have to trade all 11 that we're looking at, right? We've got 11 setups, 11 currency pairs. We do not have to trade all 11 currencies, all right? We can go ahead and cherry pick what we want to trade. So let's not go ahead and force on things that we don't need, right? Let's go ahead and look for setups that we're real comfortable with. Now, I'm going to also go ahead and draw in some fibs right here. Oh my gosh, am I getting more complicated right here? I'm going to put some fibs over here, and I'm going to go ahead and draw in. Here is my 1.618 right here. And I'm going to go ahead and mark off my next swing to right here. And take a look here. Notice that the 127. Notice that after we took out hit the 1.618 right here, price moved a little sideways, but then eventually it broke out, and we haven't quite hit the 1.27. There's still room to the upside right here, and that's why I'm thinking that just maybe we could have another little final rally here, just peak above that high. This is actually a bull trap right here. Hits that new 1.27 extension right here, and then starts heading back. And what do we have? We have higher highs, and we have a lower divergence, all right, or at least lower momentum, all right. And that could be what the doctor ordered on this trade right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this, all right. Al says hi to everyone. Hi, Al. Al just joined us today. All right. So let's go ahead and check out and see what else we could go ahead and do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at the next currency on my list, which is Aussie-Swiss. Now, Aussie-Swiss, you can see right here, we did have the same thing happening. Okay. Now, I'm getting the same sort of look right here. Remember, I don't have a pivot point to the downside, but I'm also seeing the same sort of look right here. We got the 1.618 over here, but look at this one right here. The only difference between the Aussie Canadian dollar and Aussie Swiss franc is that we've come all the way up to the 1.618 and the 1.27, and we've also got to that previous monthly pivot point, and the price has gone ahead and rejected off that level. Now, if we're going to go ahead and take a look at some sort of retracement, then I can expect price to move down to where I'm expecting my fourth wave retracement move to be, which is right about here. All right. This is, remember, we're looking at wave structure. Wave structure looks something like this, where we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when the market completes that fifth wave, we're expecting price to go ahead and move to the downside. Hey, Kathleen. Yeah, I'm alive. Yes, I am alive, Kathleen. All right. Absolutely. So we could be expecting price to move back down to this level, all right? And so anytime we're expecting price to move down to, or at least correct off its fifth wave, the target is normally that fourth wave that price has moved off. So the fourth wave is going to be our support level, and we're going to look for price to move back to that level. So let's check it out. So the fourth wave is down here, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and look for price to move to this level. I'm going to go ahead and mark off this level. And I'm going to call it target 1, wave 4. All right. Target 1, wave 4, right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark it off. All right, and I know that's at 63. So my next thing is I want to say is, well, how much profit do I have to the downside? That's 200 pips. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. Now I want to go ahead and take a look over here. I'm going to go to my 1 minute time frame, not my 1 hour, 1 minute. And I'm going to look at the 1 minute and I'm saying to myself, okay, listen here. If price is going to go ahead and continue to move down, it's really bearish. And it's been bearish for quite a while. Since the top right here, that was really our ideal spot. When we got to the top here at the 127, this is where we should have been selling short. So we're a little late on this. In fact, we're a lot late on this. All right? And so price is going to work its way back down, and it's going to go ahead and move in waves and back and forth, back and forth. So this is really late. So let me go to my 1 minute right here. I'm going to change it to a 15 minute just to go ahead and take a look at something. So the one thing we can tell right here is that price had created a wave 1 from the top, and it's gone ahead and created this big, large wave 3. All right, it's still in the wave 3 right here. It hasn't retraced back since. So we can possibly see a little retracement, a drop back down, and there's not a lot of room left in this trade. So I don't like getting into a fourth wave trading, especially when it comes to these lower time frames. Okay, because what's going to happen is, now I'm not saying, listen, I want to just make sure and be clear on something. All right, I'm not saying that this is not a great opportunity still. All right. I'm just saying that the opportunity came last night. Last night was the big trade. All right. Which time? In fact, let's take a look right here. Maybe it was this evening. I don't know. Let me take a look. So the breakout was actually at 8:45 this morning. So it actually happened this morning. And we've moved since then. We've moved down about 81 pips already. So remember, we're doing intraday trading. 81 pips is quite a lot of pips based on intraday trading. So what we need to do is, and by the way, if it does retrace up and then go back down again, we're probably going to get a third of that run. So we probably pick up maybe 30 pips out of that trade. All right. So this is not a real interesting trade for us right now. But this is the deal. When the price moves into a deeper retracement, this is going to happen. We are going to see price actually start working its way deeper up once we complete a sub-inside 5-wave structure. Once it completes a 5-wave inside structure, it's then going to go into a deeper correction on a larger wave swing. When it does that, then it may be an opportunity for us to get in at a higher price that'll give us about 300 pips to the downside, and that's what we're going to look for. So right now we can let this one go. All right. And again, I think write it down. Mark it off in your diary there. Mark it off in your list of currency pairs you're going to focus on. This may be one that's hot for next week. All right, we'll check this out, see how it's set up next week. I'm going to move away from this one right now. All right, the next one is going to be the Aussie-JPY. Take a look at Aussie-JPY. Aussie-JPY, if I go ahead and pull up the charts right here. Again, I have no pivot points to the downside. I see nothing like that that's ready to rock and roll. But I do see that we have these inside waves. Let me go ahead and just take a look and see where prices moved to. So prices moved over here. Oh, look at that. Okay. So you can see the same thing here. You see how Aussie-JPY still indicates that we haven't quite reached that 127 right here. Even that pivot point, to retest the pivot point, that's going to be our sell zone right here. And so with this bearish move that we're seeing right here, this may just be a short-term move before price moves back up again. Then here is going to be ideal for us to go ahead and sell it back down. And then we may get a little bump in the road right here with the oscillator, but still show us that we have higher highs and lower momentum. And that will give us a better opportunity. So Aussie-JPY, I think it's setting up for something next week as well. All right. So leave Aussie-JPY on the sideline. Let's go ahead and move on to the next currency pair. All right. Next one is going to be on the Aussie-US dollar. Aussie-US dollar. Now, I want to make sure that, hey, listen here. Is this making sense? What I've said this evening, is it making sense how I've evaluated and quantified my trade setups? Although I've got divergence, I'm also looking at these hot picks. I'm trying to get one. I'm not trying to find a holy grail trade because that's never going to happen, right? But I'm trying to quantify how important that trade is to me based on where it's sitting inside the structure. And if the structure is still showing me that there's possible upside moves still that could happen, then maybe I want to go ahead and stand on the sideline for a little bit longer and allow the market to go ahead and create structure for me. All right. And if it's too late, like what was the Aussie-JPY or the Aussie-Swiss? Aussie-Swiss, it's too late. It's already moved 81 pips. Let's wait for it to come back up to a nice level of resistance again and then go ahead and sell it again. It's very important that we're getting on a good sell of resistance and support. Very, very important that we do that. All right. So here is the Aussie-US dollar. We definitely see divergence. But, you know, I like to see peaks. And if you look over here, this is the one thing that's keeping me away from this right now. Notice that we've got very little highs here. Yeah, sure, it's showing that price is moving higher, but I'd rather get something like this where I've got a nice high, another high like this, but then I've got two lower highs on the oscillator. I don't have that. And so this is why I call this a low probability divergence. All right, I'd like to see price trade up a little higher. In fact, if price trades up a little higher, I will then be very much interested because now we're having a nice little pullback, right? Nice little pullback to create that peak there. And if we have another peak up there, that is the perfect scenario right here. because we're going to get a little bit of a kickback on the oscillator. It's going to give us those lower highs right here, and then we can go ahead and look to sell at the top right here. So I'm going to be more interested to take on this trade. Also, Aussie US dollar. Let's leave this. Let's leave this pair. Now, we do have some data coming out tomorrow, I believe, on the, let's take a look right here. We do have some data coming out tomorrow. And, well, it's just PMI numbers coming out for the US. So there's a lot of stuff coming out. We've got Swiss bank holiday. We've got Chinese holiday. We've got European holidays in both France and in Italy. So we've got some bank holidays coming up. And let me take a look and see what next week brings us as well. Bank holidays for JPY all day on Sunday and, of course, Monday, which is ahead. And then, hey, check that out. We have cash rate coming up next week, Tuesday. Cinco de Mayo, a very good day to start drinking, right? When the cash rate comes out for the Aussies, all right? Aussie, 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 oi, 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 right? When we get to that point, all right? I'm a South African. I don't do that, right? But in any case, so the point is this. We got some data coming out next week that may just create that bearish move that we want on the Aussie, all right? In fact, maybe Tuesday next week is going to actually, in fact, create that rally that we want in the Aussie, but it's going to be a false rally, maybe a bull trap, and then create that divergence that we're looking for, perfect case scenario, and instead of then trading that breakout to the upside, we will fade that breakout, looking for price to move down because we've got divergence. Something to think about, okay? So let's go ahead and leave that. All right, so we've got Aussie US dollar. We're going to leave that on the side. Let's check out Euro-Aussie dollar, right? Euro-Aussie dollar. And so Euro-Aussie dollar had an awesome run, all right? It rallied up nicely up here. In fact, it traded up since we spoke about it in our session yesterday. For those who were in the Right Trader Max session yesterday, we had a lead-up session. I don't know if anyone's in the room that did the lead-up with me, and these are the pairs that we spoke about then as well. But this is it right here. We've had a nice little rally to the upside. So price has moved up almost 355 pips. And let's take a look right here. On the 1 minute, let's go to the 1 minute time frame. Oh, and by the way, check this out. On this, we would probably be looking at price doing something like this. All right. This is the same thing right here. We've got wave 1, 2, this is 3 right here. And we're going to probably see price working its way back down and then going back up. Now, we could trade the 15-minute. We can go use the 15-minute time frame and trade the 15-minute time frame on a bit of a pullback and rally, because we know that if the market's going to pull back on a third or fourth wave correction, it's going to move towards the 1.618 of the previous swing. So let's take a look right here. See here? This could be, I don't know if it's going to go that far back, but that could be support there for the market. This could be support there for the market right here. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a very shallow pullback, and then price is going to rally back up again. So Euro-Aussie could be a little short pullback and then a rally back up again. So again, we're just too far away from this right now. Now, hold on a second here. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and move this down to a 1 minute time frame. All right, here's a 1 minute. Now, on the 1 minute time frame, I could go ahead and say, well, big dog, you know, I'm just going to trade, all right? I'm going to trade it if it's going to go ahead and trade below the blue ribbon and then back above. So I'm only going to trade, if I trade it just based on the ribbons, I should be good, all right? I should be good. The problem here is, all right, the problem here is that I'm looking at right now is I'm saying to myself that if I'm going to see price moving down, then up, would it make more sense for me to wait for it to dip and then trade it back up north? Or do I deploy my trading system and allow it to go ahead and continue to trade and then catch the ride on the dips right here? So which means doing something like this. Deploy it north, okay, deploy it bullish, and if it pulls back and then goes back up again, it's just going to pick me up in a new trade. And it's okay if I take a couple losses right here, because when it really takes off, I'm going to be making most of my money. So I could do that, but then I'm maybe putting on a little bit of risk on the table for nothing. So I'm going to think it over. Euro-Aussie has moved quite a bit. I'm going to think this one over. And trust me, I'm going to make a decision on a currency pair tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and think this one through first. So Euro-Aussie is something to think about. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. Pound-Aussie. Now, Pound-Aussie produced huge results. All right, Pound-Aussie produced huge results yesterday. In fact, if you traded Pound-Aussie yesterday, you would have made, in fact, if you traded actually Euro-Aussie and Pound-Aussie, you would have made 5% return on that pair, all right? And you would have seen the results. I mean, it picked you up right about here. This was the trade opportunity right here. Picked up right over here, and you could see the opportunity right here. We're looking at 385 pips, right? But it's multiple entry points, so you could have picked up 650 to 750 pips going long right here, depending on how many positions you picked up. Now, the question here that everyone should be asking themselves is it too late for me to get in on this? So let's take a look right here. The sad thing about these strong rallies is that there is going to be a correction, okay? And we're going to wait for the correction. When we can wait for the correction and then get back in again, it's a safer bet for us, all right? Now, I'm not saying that anyone that gets in here is not going to make money. You could be fortunate enough that the market continues to be rallying or continues to rally, and you can continue to catch that ride going up. But the problem is we're putting ourselves in the way, because if the market's going to correct itself right here and we're trying to buy, we may get caught up in these little buys right here that's going to go ahead and take us out at losses. And so we may want to wait until we see a correction move. And when we see a correction move, then start looking to buy long. Now, remember, we're looking at a 4-hour time frame. We don't have to make immediate decisions, right? We don't have to jump in and make a decision right away. We can go ahead and decide on this, all right, once we get better clarification. Once we get a better confirmation, we can go ahead and say, now it's time to go ahead and trade. Now, again, it's a 4-hour time frame, which means on my time frame, I can make a decision at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, all right? Then it's going to be 5 o'clock in the morning, and then 9 o'clock in the morning. So those are the times that I can go ahead and review the chart. Now, if I'm expecting some sort of correction move on a 4-hour time frame, it's going to take at least 3 or 4 candles to show the retracement. So if I see 3 or 4 candles, that's on its own, take a look at that, that's 16 hours. All right, anything between 12 and 16 hours before it confirms. Now, you can almost see how this one right here on the Pound-Aussie, you can see how this will create an opportunity for us next week. Because if we're going to wait 12 to 16 hours for it to confirm the retracement and then start thinking about getting in on that, we may have the opportunity to come Sunday night. Sunday night might be a good opportunity to go ahead and look to trade that as you trade into Monday morning session and then wait for Tuesday's evening's news report based on the cash rate. So we may have some time early Monday to pick up some pips before the cash rate comes up, and then we may have opportunities based on the cash rate that comes up as well. So that could offer another opportunity. So let's go back to the chart here. So I'm going to put this one right here, Pound-Aussie, also on the sideline. Now, we got the Euro-CAD. Let's check out the Euro-CAD. Euro-CAD, we've seen right here, no divergence, right? We're at this level of resistance right about here, but I'm looking at the chart right now and I don't see. Let's clear up the chart right here. Let's just clear it up. And let's take out everything we want to look for right here. We're looking for a good reason. Okay, well, hang on, wait a minute. There it was. Okay, this was a good opportunity right here. All right, that was convergence. All right, we did have convergence. So the convergence was there, and the opportunity came last night as we started trading below this. This when I say last night, it's actually in the morning. Early morning, because we only trade after 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, just so everyone understands. 12 a.m. in the morning, so midnight, that's when we start looking to trade. All right, we do not want to trade above that. Now, Dean says I made over 350 pips today on the Pound-Aussie. Well done, Dean. Great job. Okay. Now, if we take a look over here, we've got a nice little move to the upside. Once again, we're going to see a correction, and then we're going to go ahead and see a rally. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the 1 minute time frame right here. And the 1 minute time frame is already in the buy zone. I'm skeptical based on that, because the fact that if I move this to, let's say, a 50-minute time frame, okay? If I move this to a 50-minute time frame right here, what am I going to see? All right, I'm going to see that price is going to come back on a retracement. Here we have wave 1, 2. This is a large wave 3. We're going to see a fourth wave retracement. So this may offer an opportunity, maybe in the latter part of, also the early part of next week. So again, Euro-CAD, I'm excited about it. Maybe not too excited right now to start going ahead and jumping in. I am absolutely going to keep my eye on US oil. US oil is going to be the driving force. Remember, if US oil gets strong, what's going to happen? Euro-CAD is going to sell off. Okay, so this could be an opportunity to the downside rather than the upside once US oil starts getting stronger. All right, we've got to keep that in consideration too. All right, the next currency pair is the Euro-JPY. Let's take a look at the Euro-JPY. Now, remember, take in all the information right now. All right, we're just discussing, talking about these pairs, and we're going to make a decision on a pair. Okay, we're going to throw something at the market this evening. Okay, so here we got Euro-JPY. Euro-JPY also showed a nice bit of divergence here. I think it's more flat divergence. See right here? So I almost classify that as a class B divergence right there. Actually, it's convergence. There it is there. And then we have it up here. All right, so there it is. So we have convergence right here and a class B convergence. All right, now we're seeing right here price moving up. We're seeing a really bit of indecision right here. And if I go to the 1 minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame, it's going to show me the swing setups. We can see the same thing. Wave 1, 2, larger wave 3. Actually, this is actually showing a wave 5 right here. Yeah, we've seen a nice wave 5. So this is what it's doing. This has gone ahead and created as the wave 1. Then we had wave 2 down here. This would be wave 3. And then price would probably see us at the 127 right here, creating that wave 5. So which means our wave 4 is down here. That price is going to move back down to. So we're going to see price moving back down to this, and then looking to chase back up again. So on the 50-minute time frame, we may see a dip on that, which means that if that's the case, then we should be bearish on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute, because the 1 minute should be in a correction move. Okay, so it's slightly bearish on the moment right now, but we are bearish on that. But yeah, this could be a JPY correction move. So JPY is taking up a little bit hot, all right? So consider Euro-JPY right now. We'll think about that because we're in this fourth wave correction here, and if it does correct and then rally again, there may be an opportunity here. Okay. Now remember, I'm always going to say this: getting in on a run of divergence, is always a lot more riskier than actually trading it when it's creating the divergence. Like, this is the hot spot. If I have to go ahead and call it what it is, this is the hot spot right here. As soon as price breaks below that low, this is where the buying power is for this pattern. Okay, it's right here. That's the buying power right here. Right? Once it takes off, now you're trading the run, and everything can happen right now. All right, we can have price doing this and then jiggle up and down. This is where traders get beat up. All right. Now, granted, if we don't have the market doing that, if they have the market doing this and take off again, sweet deal, right? Nobody's going to complain about that. But we're going to complain about, or we're going to be unhappy about, situations where price does this, then goes up, comes down, goes up, and goes down, and then rallies up. This is what beats us up, right? And so this is why getting in on a situation like this is picking up the early start of the breakout, very early start of the breakout, which is really, really cool. Now, Denise says, on the 1 hour time frame, too small to look for divergence. I don't know. Oh, you mean, okay, I got you. You're asking me a question. You're saying, is it too small to look on the 1 hour time frame? You know what? Yes. I don't. 1 hour is too frequent for me. All right. I don't like looking at the 1 hour because it's just too frequent. I sometimes may look at the 1 hour if I'm looking to get the heck out of Dodge, just so I can get an earlier exit point when I'm in a trade. But when I'm looking to get in on a trade, I would rather prefer to go ahead and use a 4-hour. Now, I'm not saying that the 1 hour is going to be too small of a time frame to look at. My preference is not to look at the 1 hour to enter, but look at the 1 hour to exit for an early exit point. All right. Okay. So we've looked at the Euro-JPY. Let's take a look at the New Zealand Swiss. All right, and let's go to that 4-hour. Now, New Zealand Swiss right here. No, we got a flat top right here. We got a little bit of divergence right here. Take a look here. So we got price moving up higher right here. We do have divergence coming off right here. So we got a little bearish candle right here. We had retested the bearish candle. There would be an ideal spot. So we about 12 hours ago would have been a good time to get in right here, and that was around about 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's go take a look at the 1 minute. Now, I don't trade during the US trading session, so I would not have been in on that. But yeah, we had an early breakout right here. I want to just take a look at where our trade setup would have been at. Yeah, we may have got in on this. And let me see here. If this was the breakout there, that was the entry point. So the entry point was this candle here. Make double sure of that. Yep. Looks like that was the entry point. Stop loss would have been about 12, another 10, 22 pips wide. You may have picked up a 1-to-1 on this trade. So 1-to-1 would have been a good scalper going south. But remember, again, the spreads would have been wide. You would have paid a lot more on the spreads. Definitely not a good time to trade at the early start of the Asian market. You want to trade after 9 o'clock. The spreads get a little bit tighter after 9. Actually, around about 8:30. So I don't want to trade that until that time in any case. So anyway, looking at this Swiss right here, it does look like a bad deal on this. We do have a pivot point down here at the below. That's been touched already. Do we have anything else? Well, we have something on the top here. So we actually want to trade towards the top one. All right. Well, this is something to consider, right? New Zealand Swiss, opportunity here. We may be late on that. But then again, if the signal came out, if the signal came around this morning, this is the signal this morning, then we would have gone ahead and looked to trade it probably about here. That would have been our entry point right about there. And the stop loss on that would have been approximately, let's see here, 24 plus 10, they say 34 pips. So you're looking at 105 as the target. Did price move 105 yet? We dropped 65. So we actually dropped around about 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Not a bad deal. Trading through the day, picking up 70 pips, which is a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Not a bad deal at all. All right. But the signal did come out around about 9 o'clock this morning. All right. So let's go take a look at the last currency pair that I've got here. And that is on the New Zealand US dollar. Take a look here. New Zealand US dollar right here. And let's take a look at, so we've got one missed target up here. We've got a monthly target up here that we want to chase after. So we want to be bullish on this. But let's see here. Nope. See, we do have a little bit of divergence here. Nothing we need to jump and get too excited about. I do also notice that we got tops and bottoms right here. I can actually pull out a little tighter because it has tightened up. The range has tightened up. So we come back in the range. Let's see how much profit we got to the downside. We've got about 200 pips to the downside right here. That's not too bad. And let's take a look at dollar index. Dollar index is, did it take out the low there? Yes, it did. All right, do we see it trading? Also, this is also not a very convincing divergence level right here, or convergence level. So we're expecting dollars to get stronger. That means if dollar's going to get stronger, New Zealand US dollar should get weaker. All right, so that should be something to look forward to. All right, so there we go. So we've seen a bit of bullish dollar in play and a possible bearish New Zealand US dollar right here with a 200 pip opportunity to head down to the at least to that support level there. Let's go take a look at the 1 minute, and the 1 minute right now is showing us that price has gone ahead and created this large wave down here, and now we're in a wave 3 down here, so we're going to see a little bit of a pullback. Right, a little bit of pullback and then a further drop back south. And so there's probably left in this, let's see if we come up to a 382 here, probably going to pick up about 40 pips on this trade with multiple entry points. Not as exciting, all right? Not just because it's not set up nicely, but just because there's not a lot of money left in it. Now, if we keep this running, throughout the weekend, then maybe we can go ahead and pick up some more profit to the downside as it continues to head south. But if we're only looking for some profit overnight, then we may need to pay attention to more high trading ranges than look for that type of setup. So let's look for a high trading range. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look right here. So we've looked at all the pairs. Let's go ahead and pick one. Let me find out from the room. Out of all the pairs that we've reviewed so far, which one caught your eye the most? Which one caught your eye the most that you felt like that one is good? And Denai says here, okay, makes sense. I was short the Euro-JPY and I used the 1 minute to exit. All right, no worries there, Denai. Okay, good. So we got a couple. Let's take a look and see what options we have right here. Which one really paid, or let's say which one really showed a lot of opportunities for you based on the pairs that we did review. Anyone want to throw out something there? Come on, it's not that late. All right, it's not that late. Throw some pairs out there. Tell me what you think. All right, based on what we looked at, what do you think? Based on what we looked at, what did you think? And then I'll go ahead and throw out one of the pairs that I'm thinking that should be good. Just go ahead and short. All right, so we got here. Got a couple of Euro-CAD, Euro-CAD and Pound-Aussie. Euro-CAD, Pound-Aussie. Okay. Euro-CAD and Pound-Aussie. All right. We got. Let's see here. Jason said the Euro-Aussie when it pulls back, or the Pound-Aussie. Euro-Aussie, Pound-Aussie. Okay. Could take a look. All right, so let's go ahead and break that one down. Looks like those are the two. Out of everyone watching right now, we had like 55 viewers. We've only got what? 2 people saying that they're interested in those 2 pairs? What? Are you kidding me? All right. All right, so let's take a look and see. I like the Euro-Aussie and I like the Pound-Aussie too. I do feel like if we can get some sort of correction move, we should be good to go. So I like this, but I also like to wait for the correction move. It's moved too far for us to get in right now. Okay, I like a correction move on Euro-Aussie and on Pound-Aussie. So I agree with Jason. When it pulls back, it will be hot. All right. Now let's go take a look at Euro-CAD. Euro-CAD, same thing. It's moved too far for us to want to get in. It's really got to an oscillator saying that we're like overbought on that already. I think we should stand aside on Euro-CAD right now. I'm not saying there's not going to be an opportunity next week. I say let's stand aside for right now on the Euro-CAD. All right, what else? We got Pound. We haven't even looked at Pound US dollar, but okay. Someone said Cass says Pound US dollar. We've got, what else? We've got different right here. Let's see, Euro-CAD. Alma says here, Euro-CAD, I think pullback will start, just touch the trend line. Let's take a look at from a, oh, you're talking about the retracement. Yes, yes, I agree. All right, because we've come up to the trend line right here, I think there's going to be some resistance. Good call on that one. So fantastic. Good call on that one. We're hitting resistance right here, thinking that there's going to be a pullback off that. So yes, I agree. Let's stick on the sideline on Euro-CAD right now. We're at resistance. We don't want to go ahead and start trading that yet. Now, if it breaks this resistance, check this out. If we break through this resistance, if price goes through this resistance right here, then comes back to retest it, guess what? Whether we got divergence or not, this is a good opportunity to start buying in, going long again. So that may be an opportunity right here. All right, that may just be an opportunity. Maybe not now, but later on. So I agree with you on waiting on the euro. And then we got. Let's see what else we got here. Pound. We haven't looked at the pound US dollar. That's not one of the pairs that we actually looked at. In fact, let me go to the pound US dollar. I don't like the US dollar crosses at the moment right now. And pound US dollar is too range bound. So I look at this right now and I'm like a no on that. I don't see divergence. I don't see reason to want to get in. It's range bound. Pound US dollar for me is just a pair that you want to stay inside. Aussie US dollar also. Jordan, not interested in Aussie US dollar right now. I don't think. Let me just take a look. Take a quick look at this. And let's see here. Hey, you know what? We did hit we came off that. All right, let's take a look here. We did go ahead and create this wave 3 all the way up here. And it's come short. We still have the 5th wave up here. I think that I believe that the Aussies has still another bit of wind in them. I think they can push up a little higher before we see a dip down south. I think we're looking for a final rally in the pound crosses. All right. Sorry, the Aussie crosses, my bad. I think we need a final rally in the Aussie crosses. If we can get that final rally in the Aussie crosses, then just maybe then it's going to set up multiple opportunities for us. And I believe that the news next week on Tuesday, with the cash rate and statement coming out Tuesday next week, I believe that's going to create the biggest opportunity for us. Let's get that out of the way, create some more additional volatility, create some nice spikes in the market, create some nice tops and bottoms, and I think we can go ahead and trade it then. I think the opportunity is really coming about. Remember, traders, listen here. I showed you a couple of, last week, right? I showed you last week how we found trading opportunities. We traded 2 days. In that 2 days, we closed out with 10% return in just 2 days, all right? That's 2 days of trading. So we've got a whole month of trading. We don't have to take this evening and force something on. We don't have to do that. We can wait until next week, wait for a better opportunity, all right? I did present 2 nights ago when we did it was last night, sorry. Last night when we did the Right Trader Max session, and I went ahead and I pointed out these 11 pairs. I said, hey, these 11 pairs are looking hot for a possible rally, possible move to the upside. Some traders took advantage of that and made good money towards the end of the month and closed out with a good profit for the month. That's great. But now we're in a new month, right? So we just have to go ahead and be patient on our trades and don't force things on. So we're going to be patient on that. Now, if you want to get your feet wet, you want to get involved in the market with something and get something going, I'm going to go ahead and see what else we've got going here. Let's check it out. So we've got a couple of those. All right, so everyone's gone ahead and shared something. Michael went ahead and said the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Again, not a fan of the US dollar crosses just because of the fact that dollar index is a little raw. But this is giving us about a 200. This is probably one of the pairs. New Zealand US dollar is one of the pairs that hasn't moved that much. And if it does start selling off, it's going to head down south about 185 pips. Now, the daily trading range on this is 83 pips. That's something you always have to consider. It's 83 pips. So let's take a look and see how far the markets have moved so far today and see whether or not it will continue. Now, the one thing that I've seen here, over here is that we are in a sell zone already. All right, we're really bearish on this. We've already moved in a wave 1, 2, and 3. We're looking for a little bit of retracement. All right, we may see a little bit of retracement on this, and then it's going to sell off back down south. The reason why I don't like this pair is because if it moves down to the 1.27 right here, based on that and that, there's not going to be a lot in the trade. In fact, if I go ahead and measure it up from the 382 bounce right here, let's take a look here. From the 382 bounce, even if it goes up to the wave 1 high and move down here, we're looking at 53 pips. 53 pips. Now, I know the stop's going to be tight on this because we're going to be trading the 1 minute time frame. Stops will be tight. 83 pips. We could. Let me think. No, I don't like it. I don't like this one at all. And the reason why I don't like it is because we traded right here with the channel. It's gonna do this, right? It's gonna do this. This is something we have to realize, all right? It's gonna do. Go back to candles. It's going to do something like this, where it's going to give us a trade right here. We're going to get put into a trade. Then it's going to go into a retracement. We're going to get stopped out on that. All right. We actually may have multiple trades right here. It's going to get stopped out right here. It's going to rally up, and then it's going to go ahead and sell off, and it's only going to give us 50 pips in that trade. That's the thing about the New Zealand US dollar I don't like about it. All right. Let's take a look and see what else. Pound. What about pound? Let's see. Pound New Zealand dollar right here. Let's take a look at pound New Zealand dollar. Look how much it rallied up already. Again, when you see this much a rally, we have 300 and something pip rally. We look for a dip. Then we're going to see another rally. That's where we want to catch it. Right? We want to catch it on a dip and rally. I think we're at the trend line as well, just like the other pair we saw. Look at that. All right? We're at resistance. This is the reason why we don't want to go ahead and trade this, because if we get caught over here with some buys, all right, we're guaranteed to lose on that trade. Now, granted, if we do catch that, if we do catch a nice little dip to the downside, then and look for the buy to the upside, we could pick up something. Now, someone mentioned here, what about looking to short it? What about selling this? Now, that's something interesting right here. That's something interesting. Now, this is not divergence. I'm not seeing the divergence coming up right here. We do not have divergence. But what if we add this resistance right here, and now we start thinking about selling this, going south? What is the opportunity price moves all the way back down to the bottom of the channel right here? We could see about a 400 pip drop. Right? So prices move back up. Let me see here. All right, so if we did this, if we're expecting a correction move, let's see how far the market can correct itself. Now remember, you always have to consider that price is in a retracement, right? So here we go. Let's see the bottom right here. Did price move up? Yep. So that's the bottom right there. So we moved up in a wave 1. Moved up in a wave 1. Price is going to move up to a wave 2. So this is wave 1, 2, and 5. Yep. So we're in a wave 4 movement. So according to this, we're still going to move up towards this level right here. All right. So we still have, and remember, we're going to get a dip first, and dip could come back to retest this level and then rally up. So we've got about another 171 pips to go on this. Now, the daily trading range on this is going to be about 213 pips. But we've got that resistance. So it tells me, this is what it tells me right now. It tells me that there's a very good chance that price is going to break through this level of resistance right here. So what we want to do is we want to trade it. We want to trade along. But we've got to wait for a breakout right here. Okay, so that's the problem right here. All right, the problem with the pound New Zealand dollar is that we're trading at resistance, so we can't get in right now. We've got to wait for the dip first. If the dip occurs, then we can trade. At least then we've got room for the market to move to the support. So if we get a dip right here, if it finds support there at the 382 bounce right here, then we can start looking to buy, because then at least we've got enough profit in to allow it to test this resistance. And if it breaks through, then our stop losses below that level is going to be safe, so we can get to our target. So trading it right here is at risk, right? So that's a no-no. I don't want to do that. So if I wait for the dip, and by the way, watch this. Put alerts here. Put an alert at 2.0524, right? Because that's going to be the hot spot right here. If we get down to this point right here, we can go ahead and start buying long. All right, I want to buy long. Now I'm going to go ahead and move that down to a 1 minute time frame and just take a look and see what it looks like on a 1 minute. So the 1 minute, we're currently slightly below. All right, so this is the deal. If we set our system to trade just after midnight, maybe we can even set it to trade after 3 a.m. in the morning. If we set a system to trade at 3 a.m. in the morning, then there's a very good chance that we'll be able to pick it up as price goes ahead and breaks through. All right, so we could get this retracement, get this little retracement down. How far is that going to take? Yep, we could definitely get a retracement of 56 pips over the next few hours as we're heading into the heading towards the London trading session. So we could definitely get that dip down here to test this level and then rally up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do pound New Zealand dollar right here. Now I'm only going to pick one pair for this evening. So let me go ahead and open up an account right here. Let's go ahead and do this. Just thinking which one is going to be. All right, I'm going to do this one. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up. And I'm going to go ahead and let me close that there. And let's pull this one down here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let me see here. Make sure that's all clear. Yep, that's good. All right, good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull this down. Pound. See if I got my ear running. That's the old one. I need to pull on the new one. Just give me 1 second while I pull in my latest version. And I'm going to give you the details of exactly what I'm going to do in a moment. All right, so let's grab this. I'm going to grab a new expert advisor here in my other platform. There we go. And let's go and add this one right here. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is open up the pound New Zealand dollar right here. And because I'm going in, and I want to go ahead and make sure I update all the charts, get the data, don't disrupt the data. All right, cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull in. I'm going to pull in. Let's see here. I'm going to pull in this EA right here, and I'm going to run my scalping intraday session, and I want to buy only. So I'm going to change it to buy only, but there's a couple other things I want to set up right here. I want to buy only, and I'm going to manage the risk. I'm going to manage the risks to. I'm going to keep the risk real low today. I'm going to go with let's pull up 0.5%. I don't mind 0.5% risk on that. I can drop it down a little lower. I can go with 0.25% on this. So I'm pulling the risk down a little bit, and I'm going to go with let's go with the 0. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to go with the 0.3%. So that'll put me at 3 trades in. And I'm going to go ahead and use a 5-minute stop loss on this, fractal stop. I'm going to use a risk reward ratio of 1 to 3. I'm going to use no trading stop losses. I'm going to use the 1 minute time frame, no larger time frame. I'm going to use the add-on entries on that. And let's see what else we've got going here. Oh, I'm going to change the time. I'm going to make it Friday. Friday, and my broker is 7 hours ahead, so I'm going to change this to 7 o'clock. Let's make it 8 o'clock actually. I'm going to go 8 o'clock. That's at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I wanted to stop trading around about, let's see here. I don't want it to go throughout the night. So I'm going to stop the trading around about 5 o'clock. No, let's do 9. Let's do 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock would put me at, let's see, it's 5 o'clock. So that's 1700 hours. Yeah, 1700 hours. So at 1700 hours, I want to stop trading. That's 10 o'clock in the morning. 1700 hours on the Friday, stop trading. All right, and that's it. Let's set that to true. All right, cool. So whatever happens between now and 1 o'clock in the morning, it's not going to pick up a trade. But once it picks up the trade, I'm going to be going in with a buy opportunity. So I'm going to put the buy in right here. And so nothing's going to happen between now and 1 o'clock. But by 1 o'clock, if the conditions have lined up by 1 o'clock, then I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to get in on this. Now, Ellen says here, pound New Zealand dollar looking at the 4 hour. So you would not scalp the retracement down. No, I'm not going to say, because remember, Ellen, I'm not going to be at the computer throughout the evening, right? I am not going to be sitting and watching this trade. Sorry about that. I'm not going to be watching this trade. So I'm going to let the EA just go ahead and run, all right? And so because I'm letting the EA just go ahead and run, I'm not going to sit there and paying attention to the details. And because I'm not going to be paying attention to the details, when you're scalping, all right, in a retracement move, and keep that in mind, when you're scalping a retracement move, all right, you need to be around the computer in order to be able to make some decisions. But because I'm trading actually in a swing move, in a wave structure move, which is an impulsive move, then what I can do is I can allow it to trade it to their target. Now I'm going to put in, by the way, I'm going to put in a place where I want to remove the EA once it gets to their target. And I'm going to look what that fifth wave target is. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to pull up here on the chart. I'm going to pull up where I'm anticipating the fifth wave to be. There it is there. So this price is at what? That price is at 2.0693. All right, 2.0693. Okay. Now, Carlos, I said stop trading at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. I'm going to stop trading. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to close out trades. That just means it's going to stop putting in new trades. All right. Now, I'm going to look to stop the EA from working. So it's going to remove the EA at 2.0693. So 693. So let me go ahead and do this. So 2.0693. I'm going to add that in. All right, there it is there. So when price gets to 2.693, doesn't matter how much profit I'm in, it's going to close out the position, it's going to close out my EA and stop placing new trades. So the EA will be removed from the chart at 2.693. All right, 2.693. I'm going to OK that. All right. So which means that when price moves up to this level, if we get a little dip and it gets down there, this is what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating price to come down here, pick me up into new positions. I want to break through that major resistance level, that trend line. I want to break through that, and then I want to get to this level, because from this point right here, I believe the price is going to start working its way back down again, and I don't want to get caught up in that pullback. So right here, as price gets to that level right there, I want to go ahead and get the heck out of Dodge. Now, Joe says, can this be set up on the smart scripts? You know, Joe, I'm not too sure about the smart scripts. I'm just using MT4 right now. I know that Chris is working on the smart scripts. I'm not working on smart scripts. I can go ahead and find out and give you some feedback on that next week. But for right now, this is what I'm going to be doing on this right here. You know what? In fact, let me go ahead and take a look at the actual smart scripts right here and see on the smart scripts with Smart Trader. Smart Trader has smart scripts. There it is there. Let me just take a look and see if they've got that function in there. They do have the buy and sell targets. I just don't know if the function is in there to eliminate the script, to stop the script from working. I'll have to double check on that for you. Right. All right, cool. All right, well, that's it then. After all of that stuff right there, we managed to pick up a trade on the pound New Zealand dollar. All right, we managed to pick up a trade on the pound New Zealand dollar. We're going to check that out. We're going to let that one ride. I'm not going to throw too much at the market this evening. All right, I've done enough analysis on the different currency pairs. We probably looked at about 15 or 16 currency pairs this evening. And the pound New Zealand dollar, although we're at resistance, we are expecting a pullback just before the European session, and then another push to the upside. Hopefully that push to the upside is enough to break through that downward trend line and then get us into profit. I put a very low risk on this trade because, again, there's a lot of setup that are setting up, but I believe the hot spots are going to be next week. Now, also remember, non-farm payroll is out next week. We got cash rate coming out. Anytime we have non-farm payroll, that week tends to be a little slower. Right? We've got a lot of bank holidays coming in on Friday, going in on Sunday, Monday. We've got bank holidays in Europe and, of course, in Japan as well. So we've got bank holidays. We've got the non-farm payroll coming out on Friday. Things are going to be a little bit slow. If we look at the setups on Monday, Tuesday, and I'll create another session maybe on Sunday. I may go ahead and create a session. If you're not subscribed to the channel right now, go ahead and subscribe, right? Because coming to the next week, as soon as I start seeing something happening, I'm going to go ahead and schedule a session and let's go ahead and get active. So we've got 11 currency pairs that I know that are looking hot, all right, that have already given us some sort of move that we're waiting for some sort of correction. And we already discussed that it's between 12 and 16 hours for the correction to take place, and then we're going to go ahead and look to try and trade that. If that happens, we want to be ready for that. So let's make sure that we are ready for that. But with that being said, traders, listen here. Have a fantastic weekend. Relax. Enjoy it. We'll check out this trade. I'll go ahead and post some stuff tomorrow on this trade. See how it worked out. But definitely next week is going to be hot. Make sure you subscribe so we can check out and see what the opportunities are. All right? Hey, listen here. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this live session, please go ahead and share, like, and comment on the video, because I'd like to go ahead and make sure that we get the news out there and get more people into the trading sessions. I'm going to try and do more regular trading sessions, so hopefully we'll have a little bit more of a casual approach to these type of sessions, so we can just basically talk market and see what's happening. All right, look for the opportunities. All right, traders, with that being said, have an awesome weekend, and I'll see everyone back next week. This is FX Big Dog signing off.